questions?
You do. You get the giant paper.
We're going to start with Benny Coombs.
No, I put him at the bottom this time.
Okay.
Not for any particular reason.
Right. Because he's from Canada, so technically he should be he should be above where we are.
Well,
technically he is.
Yeah.
Not, just physically, geographically.
Yeah, it wasn't really a ranking thing, yeah. Geographically he would be. Ranking-wise, he's just always in the mix, so this time I put him.
Yeah. He's like a good treble booster.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice, he's
an always-on pedal.
He's like a mid-ranger.
He's a good always-on pedal.
He's a good mid-ranger. Or maybe a Canadian mounted ranger. Maybe that's what...
The mountie, yeah.
See, this should be we should be talking.
No, we should make Ben Coombs treble booster.
The Canadian mounted ranger.
Yeah.
Or some shit.
Something like that.
All right, let's get this thing going.
Some like tactical mountie on a moose.
it's like a cat on a moose with with one of those hats.
Yeah.
The
flat ones.
With a bowl of poutine or whatever. Mm-hmm. All right.
Bananas and some such.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's Ike from Flipside Music, and I'm here with
Dylan.
And welcome to F.A.Q. Season 3, episode 24.
Yeah, I think.
So if you're new here, quick weekly question and answer show. You ask us some questions, we give you some answers, we go off on tangents about some other shit for a while, and that's it. You should have just heard the rant we had.
Yeah, we never know exactly where it's going to go.
Where it's going to go. We already had a cool thing that we should have been filming anyway. But
that's fine. I'll put it in.
It's nonsense. Yeah, probably somewhere in the back or the front. I don't know. Whatever. Before we get started. Anyway, let's just jump right into it.
Sweet. All right. Barry64 asks, do any Fender style preamp pedals really make your amp sound like a classic Fender tube amp? So like Fender preamp pedals, that'd be like the
Basement. Well, no, that's a Boss one.
Well, no, that's kind of what I think he's asking. Those like, are there any of the classic style Fender preamps that are made today that actually make your amp sound like the real deal amp?
I really should read some of this stuff.
No, that's all right.
I have the Boss Bassman. Sounds pretty damn good. I also have the Boss Deluxe.
Yeah, the Deluxe
Reverb.
Yeah.
And that's a good pedal. You just have to dial it in right because some things can be a little bit overwhelming.
Well, it has a lot more mid-range too than the amp does, so it's definitely a little different.
You kind of have to dial it. It's really cool because you can get kind of get that deluxe push.
Yeah, the driven deluxe.
So if you can find one, it's a cool pedal to have, and it also, the reverb does sound pretty good on it. It's just you got to dial it in because you can get some real trash tones in there too.
Because you have all three of the Boss Fender pedals, right? Or at least...
Except the reverb. Remember we sold it to the Brazilian...
Oh, you still... Oh, okay. For some reason I thought you did get another one that came... Yeah, you're right.
We sold it to the Brazilian reggae cool maker.
Yeah. Hopefully he's weaving tapestries of tone and fibers.
And reggae. He's probably
reggae,
He's probably baked somewhere making a nice quilt in Brazil.
I'd like to think so.
Yeah.
But yeah, the other one, honestly, the one that I think is the most on point's that Super Black.
Yeah.
From
Mad
Greer.
Professor.
Or Mad Professor. That was it.
Yeah,
Mad
Professor.
Yeah.
I got one at home for R&D purposes. And
it
really works nice with my Pro Junior.
Oh, okay.
So with like just
because that's what I was going to bring up next was like the amp you run it into makes a huge difference.
Yeah, I've been running that into the Pro Junior and it's just got a nice. It sounds really good because you're turning the Pro Junior into something that you're giving it more capability because it's only got a tone and a volume.
Right, so it gives it kind of a full EQ.
Yeah. And then what's cool about the Super Black is that it's got a Sweet Honey overdrive in it, and that's one of the overdrives that I use. So it's almost like it's great for like
one
a
of your
blues
favorite
jam
preamps and your favorite one of your favorite overdrives.
It's great for like a blues jam thing. It's also the compression switch in there too because. Hey, we sold something. So it's also got a compression switch on it too, so you can get a little bit of sweet compression stuff going on in your sound. And it's nice if you want to do like a blues jam, because literally I could take that pedal and just a little reverb and put it into the Blues Junior, and it's a small rig to carry into a blues jam instead of trying to carry some monstrosity, because you really don't need a lot. You don't need a big pedal board.
But yeah, for that stuff.
And for something like that. So.
But yeah, that was what I was gonna bring up, was the amp you run it into makes a huge difference. Because I think as long as you're running it into something that has a high amount of headroom, clean headroom, then the pedal will do its job. Whereas like if you're gonna run the amp pretty hot, or if it's already kind of breaking up and you hit it with that, you're really gonna get more of a blending of the two.
Right.
Whereas I think, based on what he's kind of asking, I feel like that's more of a question of, if you run it into something super clean, using that as your power section essentially, and use the other as your real preamp, can you really get close? And I think you can.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot
you
closer
can also run
than
it in the effects loop.
Yeah, that's true
and
too.
And then
just
use the power section of the
especially,
amp.
and it would help if you had something that was like 6L6 or 6V6 for the power amp, because then you'd be even closer to kind of hitting that.
You could run it even into like a Boss Katana 100.
Mm-hmm.
Do the effects loop.
Yeah,
that's
something that's just clean power.
Or even like a Tech 21 power engine.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that would actually give you, that way you're getting the power.
Right, without the two preamps.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a good question. Yeah. All right, you want to do Cullen's next one?
So Cullen James asks, I went on a short trip this weekend and didn't bring a guitar because I didn't want to mess around with a full-size guitar and amp. What's your travel rig, or would you suggest as a travel guitar / amp?
Well, they're pricey, but those Steinbergs are pretty. Is it Steinberg?
Yeah, they're small guys. I guess it all depends on what you're trying to do. Like if you just want something to noodle with and just kind of screw around. I mean, one of those little. There's some smaller acoustics that'll work, but if it was me, I probably.
Well, he is asking amp in there too, so I think he's thinking electric. If you're gonna go like a travel electric rig, basically.
A travel electric rig, I would probably grab one of those little Fly 3s.
Mm-hmm.
From Black Star. Those sound really good. Or a Katana Mini.
Yeah.
Because both will run on 9 volts, but both will run on batteries for a pretty good amount of time. Guitar-wise, if I want to keep it simple...
To be honest, I think Teles and SGs are like the two easiest. I mean, if you're going to go for a full-size guitar that's not going to take up a ton of space in the case, I feel like both of those guitars are about as easy as it gets.
Or you could just get a Mini.
You could, yeah, but
a 3/4 size just to have something to mess around with.
But I feel like a beater SG or a beater up Tele would be kind of I think they're more, well, coming from Explorers, I guess they seem easy to me.
Well, Explorers.
So yeah, so coming from the Explorer background, those seem small and very convenient to me.
Yeah. I mean, there's also those little mini guitars. We got one of those ones that are like the short thing, and then it's got like the tuners in the body, which I hate because I got big hands and you can't get in there for shit.
Yeah.
So those are kind of tough. They do the job.
Right.
Because they're only like this big, but
really depends on the budget. Because if this is something you're going to use a lot, then going for one of like the
Steinberg wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, like one of the guitars that has no headstock and is all compact and everything. Those are great for that. If you're not going to use it a ton, then yeah, I would just go for the smallest guitar you could get that you wouldn't worry about beating up a bit.
Just build a partsy.
Yeah.
Build a partsy that plays well.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Maybe we'll come out of left field with what were those? What was it? The Vox Teardrop or whatever?
Oh yeah. Well, you could even just build one and slap a neck on it.
That's true. You could
do a top loader.
Yeah.
Just find a piece of pine somewhere.
Well, yeah, because Colin's obviously handy. He made what was
Meteora.
it? Meteora, yeah. So it's like if you can do that, you could
build yourself a Bo Diddley guitar. Go find a piece of pine.
Like a mini diddley.
Yeah, a mini diddley. Cut it in a square. Cut out your neck pocket. Put a top loading Tele bridge on it, and wire it up, and it would be all right. I mean, that's the suggestion. They also, I've seen those like travel guitars that fold. Have you seen those?
Oh,
where the neck just.
Yeah.
I haven't tried it. But I mean, that could be something if you're really concerned with space.
Those seem weird to me just because, maybe it works, but with the strings and everything, it just, I don't know, seems weird.
I don't know either, but it's possible.
Yeah, they're out there.
Yeah. Or just a mini 3/4 size acoustic or electric, something like that would work too.
Yeah.
But if it was me, I'd probably just, if I had the room, I'd probably just slap a parts caster together.
Yeah.
Or find
something you're not going to worry about.
Yeah, and then just run with that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That's what I'm going with.
Yeah.
All right.
Last questions from Mr. Coombs.
Sure. Yeah, we got short questions this week.
Yeah, it was just a few this week. Thoughts on the Fender Noventa Telecaster?
If we only had one, close by.
Or even 2, but I left one.
Hey, what's this? Look. Is that convincing enough? See,
yeah.
Colin watched,
totally sold.
Colin, I gave him the link to the movie, so he's watched my acting.
Oh, okay,
and, You know, he's seen it, and he can see how good that was. It's like method.
Right.
You know, I just get right into
Descended right into the character.
Right, I got right into it. That whole, hey, what's good? What's good, man? Hey, guys. You got an event ahead?
But yeah, they're actually pretty damn sweet. Yeah,
this thing is really cool. It's just another telly to tempt me.
Ike and Jake have both been kind of drooling over this one. We also have the burst one, but that one's up front. This one's the maple neck one, and then we have. Do you know if it was rosewood or Palfaro on that one? Because it was a pretty dark neck. It looked like rosewood, but I'll have to check that because we just got them in, so I'm not super familiar yet. But I know that this guy was the maple neck butterscotch, and the other guy, the bursty, had a dark fingerboard. Not plugged in, so we'll see how much
it's
the
nice
mic picks that up. It does actually.
Yeah.
It's pretty good acoustically. So thoughts on it?
It's got a little buzzy.
Yeah.
That was me hitting hard though.
Yeah, getting into it. So what are your thoughts on it, Ike, after playing it now?
I love that.
Well, you gotta give them something. All right. Well, I guess we'll just fade off on a noodle.
And the AC kicked in, so there goes.
Yeah.
There goes that. Actually, it's a really nice guitar. Weight is awesome, so it's not very heavy. It's probably because there's not that second pickup in it, so that's why it's just taking so much weight relief.
So much, yeah.
All that weight relief is off of there. But this is, I mean,
no switch. That switch is
the switch is. I mean, that's going to be a thing that's going to make a lot of.
Well, and slightly less pick guard, so.
Right, all that. It's a system, man.
Yeah.
It's a system.
It's a conglomeration of parts.
System.
Yeah.
It's very comfortable. Neck is very. It's a nice, comfortable neck. The shoulders, there's a little bit more on the shoulders, but very comfortable for everybody, I think.
A little more U or C or like D shaped.
I mean, it's a C. It's a comfortable C.
It's a C. Okay.
Give me a C. A
comfortable
C.
With some shoulders. C. A bouncy C.
Give me a C. A bouncy C. So I think it's a very comfortable guitar. This is a dangerous one for me. Obviously, you guys know I'm a Tele fan. I'm also a big fan of P90s. And this thing, I mean, it sounds great straight away into a nice clean amp. You get that nice crisp sound. Also, you drive this thing a little bit. It's got that whole P90 bite. You can, this could be easily a
straight ahead rocker.
Yeah, this could be easy a little rock machine too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's why Jake's pretty interested in it too.
And the other one too that I think is really cool is the Noventa, the Strat with the 2 P90s in it. That one is
cool.
Super dangerous.
Yeah.
So these are really cool. Well built. I mean, yeah.
I forgot. Did they do the matte finish and gloss on the top on that one?
Yeah. So it's a satin finish on the neck.
Yeah. And then gloss on the fretboard or no?
No, it's more of a satin.
No satin on the front. Okay, sweet. That's
so cool. It's a cool butterscotch blonde. I mean, this thing is pretty rocking.
It's pretty sweet, especially with the brass saddles and everything.
The weight too is nice.
Yeah.
Obviously some Teles can be a little bit heavier. This is
right. All right. Yeah, I think the only other thing this week was Metalhead Hippie was asking about when we're going to do a shirt with the new shop address on it. So we'll let you guys know when we do for sure. But
we're going to work on it. We're going to put together a graphic that'll have the whole thing. Maybe we'll do a promotion with the grand reopening of the new place. It's going to be a bit. I got architects, and now we have structural engineers involved and all this other stuff.
And soothsayers and almond readers and
And last week we did the premiere on the movie. A buddy of mine, filmed a movie during the pandemic, so we did a premiere of that, and then we had a jam for about an hour and a half. And that was pretty cool. So we didn't have to burn any sage. because
cleansed it already.
We cleansed it with loud amplifiers and some cool singing and blues music, and it was a lot of fun, and it was a good time.
Good. Fun was had by all.
Yeah, so we'll have some commemorative, super limited edition commemorative T-shirts with I don't know, maybe we'll do one if you wanted to. We'll do a promo code for the grand opening. So if you bought a T-shirt, you get a promo code or something for the web store or something. We're trying to figure out some cool
make it kind of fun.
Yeah, trying to figure out some cool promotional things once we get that going. I talked about doing like a bloggy thing or a vlog for it, but there's not a lot of movement yet because we're still in the planning stages and architects and stuff, and I don't really think the architect wants me to go to his house. Hey, what do you do, buddy? What's that line for?
I'll come over to your house.
Come to your house and play with your pencil.
Take it for a wee spin.
Yeah, but once we start getting a little bit more movement on the property and things start to happen a little bit more, I'll start documenting that because right now it's a lot of planning.
Right.
A lot of frustration.
Yeah, if you guys want to watch Ike just like stress sweat.
I had a full afro before we bought that shit. And this is what happens in 3 weeks when you buy yourself a commercial property with a broken AC.
Yeah. Well, in the middle of like the hottest summer we've had forever.
Brutal. Yeah. It's like a sweat box in there. Holy crap.
All right. Well, I think that is pretty much it. Yeah, we've been open since we started this actually, so it doesn't sound like a ton's going on, so we're probably okay. But we should still wrap it up.
Short and sweet video this week.
Yeah. Well, anyway, guys, thanks for watching.
And where are we going to catch them?
On the flip side, generally.
Yeah, that's where we're going to catch them. On the flip side.
Well, usually you say that part, so I was just going to let you,
I know. I'm all hopped up on coffee.